All right, so we have a superstar of superstars, a legend of legends coming to our digital stage right now. I'm going to read a little bit about her official bio of this superstar. Sharon Lechter, she's a global financial literacy expert, New York Times best-selling author. She's co-authored Rich Dad, Poor Dad with Robert Kiyosaki and 14 other books in the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series. Her best-selling books, 3 Feet from Gold, Outwitting the Devil, Think and Grow Rich for Women, and Success and Something Greater, highlight the work of Napoleon Hill. She is featured in the movie Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy, as well as new television series, The World's Greatest Motivators. In this short guide, we'll show you the simple formula to creating personal success. So we're going to bring in the one, the only, let's give a round of applause to Sharon Lechter. Woo! You can't really hear it, man. I will want to get somehow audio audience in there. Let's do it. Sharon,
welcome, Manny. How are you? I'm absolutely fantastic today.
I am too blessed to be stressed. I can't complain over here.
Wonderful.
Okay, so let's kind of lay the ground rules for the interview right here. For you guys watching right now live on this broadcast, there's a little chat box to this little area here. You'll see a tab called Q&A. Click on that tab, type in your questions, and I will ask those questions. So you guys are going to be able to vote on them to see which ones you want to have Sharon answer first. And we'll try to get to as many as we can. But I've got some questions for you, Sharon. First of all, I'd love to have you in here because I really want to get a financial literacy expert to share some entrepreneur secrets to my audience and my students from Orphaned to CEO. So first question I have, if you were meeting somebody who's just starting out in entrepreneurship, a lot of my from Orphaned to CEO students, they're day one entrepreneurs. They are literally learning what the word mentor means. What would you recommend to them as far as kind of the first steps in entrepreneurship?
Well, the first step is to understand that all successful businesses do one of two things: solve a problem or serve a need. And so you start there, right? Solve a problem or serve a need. You focus on that. And that's what's going to help you get through the tough times because it takes it outside of yourself. And as you continue doing that, realize you don't have to do it on your own. Now, school teaches us to do stuff on our own. But business is a team sport. And so you want to make sure you have people around you that are helping you. And you use the word mentor. You need a mentor. The stats are in. They show that if you have a mentor, you're going to be more successful than if you don't. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room. And you want to make sure you have the right people, where you have people on your team that are strong where you're weak. So you can truly all focus on moving forward. And I have the personal success equation that's from the book you talk about is your favorite book, 3 Feet from Gold, and it talks about your passion and your talent. Now, my passion actually came from anger. I was mad we weren't teaching kids about money in school. Plus, my talent, I had a degree in accounting, a CPA, and I had tons of publishing experience. So I could stop there. Most of us do. We think we have to do it on our own. But the rest of the formula is very important. The first times A, the power of association, just like you and I have this association in supporting one another. Power of association is so very important. And then times A, taking the right action. How many times do young people and beginning entrepreneurs and even seasoned entrepreneurs know what they're supposed to do, but they don't do it? And then the very last element is plus F, and that stands for faith. Having faith in yourself, having faith in what you're doing, having faith that it's needed and necessary. But a lot of young entrepreneurs, that F is not faith, it's fear-based. And so we have to convert that fear into focus through faith.
I love it. You know, I find a lot of entrepreneurs struggling in these exact formulas. It's really a widespread problem, I would say, when, you know, I'll give you an example. Someone really close to me is wanting to get her business out there. She wants to start teaching people. She's got a wealth of knowledge and experience, but she has this fear that she's just not good enough to teach other people, right? She's seeing everyone else around her teach and share and educate, and she just feels not ready. And a lot of entrepreneurs, I feel, are in that same boat. What would you say to somebody that's kind of stuck in that fear mode? They don't have a lot of faith that what they have is needed and necessary.
Well, when I start working with people, when I'm mentoring them, I go through that formula with them. And usually it's the power of association and that faith in themselves where they need the greatest work. And they go hand in hand. If you have the right people around you and you have the right people on your team and the right mentor, they're going to feed into your faith. Sometimes when we don't feel we're good enough, we have to kind of look back and say, where did that come from, and release it. And you mentioned outwitting the devil. That really helps you figure out where those fear-based thoughts come from and allow you to release them. But a lot of times it's your power of association that keeps you strong when you otherwise want to kind of like get under the covers and hide. And so it's really important to say, okay, I need a little self-confidence today. So talk to the right people, have them on your team, because everybody goes through it. It's a human nature. I'm not good enough. I'm not an expert. And that's stinking thinking. That's negativity. And if you know anything about Napoleon Hill, when you have negative thoughts, you're going to attract negative results. And so the first thing is to say, all right, stop thinking that way and start focusing on what you are good at. And then I would challenge this young woman and say, you've probably been through something. We all have, and we got through it. And so things that can help people out there. And so you have a responsibility and an opportunity to share how you survived and how you got through it, and share what you know so that they don't have to go through the same issues that you have. And so if you can take that concept, I'm afraid of selling, I'm not sure I'm good enough, and turn it over, instead of focus on selling, you focus on serving. You're still here for a reason, and you've been through some stuff that you can help others that are going through it as well. And so get the mindset off of feeling arrogant, selling, to feeling the power to uplift others through serving.
I love it. It's like exactly the form I'm always trying to share out there. Serve your way to success. It's not just a feel-good moment. It's not just something that can help you stay motivated, but the science and the numbers are there. If you focus on trying to sell right off the bat, like I did a breakdown for one of my students recently, where I was showing them, the first contact, only 2% of sales happen there. By your second contact, only 3% of the sales would happen. By the third contact, only 5%. Literally, the first 3 contacts where 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs stay is only where 1 out of 10 of your business actually happens. Majority of that business, 80% of that business is going to be somewhere between 5 to 12 contacts or more of value that you had to go in there. So serving your way to success, it just works. And the formula speaks for itself. I want to go back to where you said opportunity and responsibility. This, I think, is something a lot of people struggle with as well, is how do they balance that, where they look at what they're trying to put out there to the world as I'm just out there putting out opportunities and I'm just trying to sell, and then looking at it as a responsibility that they should be sharing that wisdom, that experience, like their life story that they've overcome, the chaos that they've endured, where they've gone through to survive and get to where they're at today. Some people just want to get to that point. And how do you get somebody to realize that there's value in just that stage of life right there?
Well, I think, people have heard terms like sales funnel, marketing funnel. I use the term nurturing campaign. And particularly in today's society, there's so much stuff, there's so much chaos, there's so much, there's a lot of free stuff that is not worth what it's costing you for free. You have to make sure you pay attention who you're listening to, making sure the people that are sharing their information actually have been there, done that, and truly have success. But that nurturing campaign allows you to build authenticity, allows you to have people get to know you better. People like to do business with people they know, like, and trust. Well, right now in today's environment, they have to get to know you, like you, and trust you online. All right.
Yeah.
And so it's really important. And, I just try and break it down very simply. Give, ask. Give, ask. Continue to share yourself. All right. And then provide an opportunity. And it's,
write that down, guys. Give, ask. That's 4 gives before 1 ask, right? Very, very simple there. I like that. So looking at some of the questions that we're getting popped in right now. So this one came from Cindy Masters. By the way, guys, if you have questions for Sharon, just pop them right into that Q&A tab, type them in there. We're going to get to as many as we can in this interview. But Cindy asks, I'm rebranding myself. What's the best way to get my message out there?
Well, number one is to make sure you go back to what problem do you solve and what need do you serve. And in the world where it is lovely to have snazzy artwork and your branding to be really wonderful, you need to have the underlying message and heart-focused mission as part of your business, and be able to live it and breathe it and say it and have the people around you know it. So there's no question as to what you stand for and who you are. And again, you know, Manny asked, I have, it's a gift, there's no sales, but at personalsuccessequation.com, I have a formula for you to walk through that and really analyze your passion. And sometimes it's better to have a group of very close friends help you do your passions and your talents, because they see talents that you have that you may not see.
Yeah.
In fact, I guarantee it. And they may help you refine what you're passionate about. And so it's really good to do that exercise in a small mastermind. But when you fine tune into what really you want to do, the rebranding is easy. So I'm as passionate today as I was back in December of '92 when I made the decision to dedicate my career to financial literacy. I know that's why I'm here. That's what I'm supposed to do. And so when you find that, it just clicks. I haven't worked a day in my life. As long as I'm in tune with what I want to do, I'm going to be contributing and adding value.
I love it. So tying that into, and by the way, guys, if you want to get that personalsuccessequation.com link, I'll make sure that every one of you that text in Sharon 2020, right, all one word, to that keyword number that we've been using all day, the 714-369-8528. If you text that number, that keyword, I will make sure each one of you get that link that Sharon shared here. So that way you have the domain and spelling and all that fun stuff for you guys. So good. That is a great advice there, is just surrounding yourself with the right people, having the right mentality, and bringing in what ideas you want to surround yourself with. I see this happen a lot where, you know, students, members, entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, they really make and break their business with the community they surround themselves with. I've noticed this over and over again. Now, in your book, The Outwitting the Devil, I've got this one. This is actually, I want to give a thank you to you, Sharon. Now, you don't know this yet, but my wife was listening to the audio version of this and completely transformed the way her mindset was thinking. Total shift. I mean, it was night and day to the way she was thinking about fear, the way she was thinking about the thoughts in her head, the way she was thinking about the action she's taking. So, you know, shameless plug, but get Sharon's book in there, please, because this will transform. But there's a question about Outwitting the Devil from Susan Bond. She says, Outwitting the Devil has such a profound impact on my life, and today the drift seems to be spreading exponentially. What quick tips/steps do you have to overcome the fear and break the trance?
Well, part of the book actually gives you 7 steps to get rid of the fear and to be able to truly be a non-drifter. And it starts with definiteness of purpose, that passion. What is it that you are here to do? What is it that and if you focus on that, it helps you get through that and gets rid of the fear. But it's also about self-mastery, self-discipline, kind of a yucky word, but it really is. Are you dedicated to what you need to do? It also talks about controlling your time. You know, we can make money, lose money, and make it back, right? But we don't get our time back. So how are you using your time? And really look at it. And who are you spending it with? That's an even bigger question. Are you spending it with people who are challenging you, who want you to succeed? Are you spending your time with people that are holding you back? And then as part of that also is controlling your environment. Is your environment conducive to you becoming successful, or is your environment pulling you down? Is it positive or negative? Is it challenging or is it complacent? Only you can make those decisions. And Manny, I'm doing a book study on Outwitting the Devil. It's totally free now. If anybody wants to go to Crushing Fear by Outwitting the Devil on the Facebook page, it's a Facebook group. no cost, totally free. We're in our third week. It's called Crushing Fear by Outwitting the Devil. And my dear friend Lisa Copeland and I are doing it. We did this a couple of years ago for a fee, but I said, with what's happening in the world right now, I want to support people in breaking through that fear. So I invite everybody to come. Crushing Fear by Outwitting the Devil. And you can look at the first 3 weeks because the recordings are there. But again, we're doing it because everybody right now, it's the trifecta of fear: the fear of the disease, right? The fear of death, the fear of poverty because of people being out of work and the economy, and the fear of isolation because we're home alone. All three of them. So it is legitimate to have that fear. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to let that fear paralyze you, which means you get under the covers, and when you get out, you know what? It's going to be there. So deal with it. Turn that fear into energy, and that energy motivates you to take action. So turn the fear into focus, and focus on.
I had Alex Stern yesterday on, and he was sharing. Yeah, he's so amazing, wealth of knowledge as well, and he was sharing how you can turn the momentum of a sale and a new client, instead of just focusing all that into a celebration, right? Oh, high five, I got a sale, or high five, I did something great in my business. Use that momentum to build upon more growth and more scaling in your business. And the same thing goes for fear. You can take that energy of fear and put it into doubt and uncertainty and depression and just all of these things that just breed more negativity, or you can take that fear and use it to empower you to do more things. And it's so true in that. I see this, so many people get stuck in that mentality of whatever they're circling in their head of what worst case scenario could possibly happen, and I'm just going to brace for that, versus what could possibly happen. How can I really set myself and position myself for that? I really like that. So thank you for that insights there. Shadow Gray shares, Sharon, you are the smartest person in most rooms. So who is your mentor?
Thank you, Shadow. Shadow and I work together. So I'm very proud of her and what she's doing. I challenge myself not to be the smartest person in the room. I'm always reading. I'm always reaching out to others. And I have, great opportunities to have that power of association. A few years ago, 7 years ago, I lost my youngest son, and I kind of went into this neutral, numb. And so I wasn't reaching out to people, and I wasn't learning as much. And I really felt the decrease in my energy. And actually, about 3 years ago, decided that maybe I should retire. And I got a little pushback from family and friends, including, I think, from him. I heard him say, "Get over it, Mom, you have more to do." And so everybody watching or listening, a lot of people have been numb right now, or something's happened in your life: divorce, death, a financial setback. Certainly right now, a lot of financial setback. And so we can decide how we're going to move forward. But you're still here. You're still here for a reason, and you survived. And so what is it that you're supposed to do with that? And so I made the decision 2 years ago. I launched, my philosophy is play big movement, to play big again, because most of my career I played big with Disney, Warner Brothers, all that. And so when I started playing small, I could feel the fact that I wasn't contributing at the level I wanted to contribute. And so when I made that decision to play big again, I started a private Facebook group called the Play Big Movement with Sharon Lechter, sharing the things that I do. But, once you make that mindset shift, you open yourself up to incredible opportunities. And you read some of them as you introduced me. The Think and Grow Rich Legacy movie came to me, World's Greatest Motivators earlier this year. I'm episode 8. What an incredible opportunity.
My favorite number.
Yes. And episode 8, abundance. And so all of that is, things that I made that space for opportunity. And I want all of you to make that space for opportunity by looking at a bigger play than what you're doing right now. Who's that power of association that can open doors for you? What team member, what mentor? The mentor that got you to where you are today may not be the mentor that's going to get you to where you deserve to be. So you need to look at it honestly and say, do I have the right people on the team? And for me, I'm constantly challenging myself. I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly reaching out to people like Steve Forbes is one of my mentors. We always want people to challenge us and to motivate us.
Nice. So really it's surrounding yourself with people that are kind of scare you and taking bigger action. Say, look, like you're just playing way too small. You got to play bigger. I love that concept.
And this actually goes challenge you, don't say scare you.
Oh yes. Yeah. Don't scare yourself. No more fear, right? We got to turn that fear into energy. Challenge it. I love it. Now this would go right into the next question. This came from Lisa. She asked, how did you go from doubt to believing that you have the gift and talent to go big?
I think that is an incredibly great question, because that is so true for most of us. And particularly for women, if I may say that for a moment. Even myself, for a long time, I couldn't feel comfortable saying I'm an expert. I'd say I'm pretty good at that, right? And I had to train myself to stand in my own power. And every one of you stand in your own power and say, I am an expert. And then as I train my people, I say, instead of saying, change the use of your words are so important. I am the expert. You are the expert. And then you build on that expertise and say, I am the authority. And that's where you want to be. And the Play Big movement is about being number one in your field, living your legacy, and creating maximum impact. And everybody has that opportunity to play big and become the authority in your field, number one, live your legacy, and create maximum impact. And so it's getting past that. And part of it is reading Outwitting the Devil to get rid of the fear, but it's also having the right people around you that believe in you more than you believe in yourself initially. People that are there to say, you know, you are fabulous. And you go, oh, really? Everybody keeps saying, maybe I am. All right. You know, so it helps you build that self-confidence, but it's one step at a time. But, you know, back to one of the things you were just saying, Manny, about the negative thoughts, you know, the definition of the word worry, when we're fear-based, when you worry, it's like you're praying for what you don't want to have happen. All right. To worry is to pray for what you don't want. And so just that one definition has helped me and helped lots of people, because I share it every time I speak. Now I catch myself because I'm a champion worrier. But when I find myself in this worry storm, I stop. I go, okay, Sharon, stop focusing on what you don't want. It's like a trigger, and say, focus on what you do want to have happen. And it's like magic, because you cannot hold a positive and a negative thought at the same time. So get rid of the negative and reframe it into a positive outcome. And it's amazing what will happen.
Man, I hope you guys are taking notes here, man, because I can't even keep up with the notes, and I'm already filled a whole page here. Expert to authority. By the way, guys, write that part down. The definition of worry is praying for what you don't want. I got to tell a few people about that one. That one's a good one there. When you said expert to authority, it kind of popped my little head a little bit there. What do you see as the difference between an expert and an authority?
You can become an expert by training and by experience, right, and success. You become an authority when people are calling you. That's when people are calling you to be on the news, to get your opinion on something. All right, when you are an authority, you're also an expert, right? But the authority means it takes you to that level of mentor, respected authority. Your expertise has been proven and is now sought after.
Good. All right. So it's just really getting to that status that you are solidified as the person on this specific industry, this topic, this idea, and they come to you versus you having to put marketing campaigns out for them. I love it. All right. Now, another question we have is from Kim Moser Amaya. Asked, how would you recommend starting to teach financial literacy in my community? Who do you recommend starting with? She's out of Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if you're talking about adults or children, but part of it is just starting the dialogue and the conversation. Most people, from the small children, you hear things like, we can't afford it. Money doesn't grow on trees. Pinch your pennies. Save for a rainy day. And what do all those things have in common? They're negative. And so as small children, we grow up and we hear money negative, money negative, money negative. No wonder we have this mindset of scarcity. We're afraid we're never going to have enough money. And then when we make some, we're afraid we're going to lose it. And so once you can identify that, so money, there's so much mindset around money. And so when you're looking at financial literacy endeavors, you can reach out to us at info@Sharon Lechter. We have programs that can assist you, but you start having the dialogue about releasing the fear of money. I believe we live in a world of abundance, not in a world of scarcity. Yeah. And it's taking that one step at a time. We all can be successful. And when you want to share that information, it starts with mindset and having the dialogue and the conversation. There are lots of tools. I'm not on this program to promote my products. So I just want you guys to know we're here to support you. And if you want to reach out to us at info@Sharon Lechter or go to SharonLechter.com, you can see we have board games to help teach teens, and we have programs for you as adults. We have affiliate programs. So if you want to take some of our programs into your community, you can. But my purpose today is to support Manny and to support all of you.
Awesome. But that's what it's about. I mean, it's the resources, the education. I'm writing all of this stuff down. So when you guys text in Sharon 2020, by the way, all one word, no spaces, I'll make sure you get her email, her website, the Facebook group. Everything's going to be tied into there. So I'm making sure I'm making notes here. So we'll get all of those plugged in, because that's always what happens. I'm like, hey, what's that link again? What's that? She shared that page. What's the thing again? So I'm going to make it all on one link, so it's all easy for you guys to access, and everyone that texts in will get that link. We have time for maybe 1 to 2 more questions. So I wanted to make sure we cut into a little bit more of these questions for you here.
Sure.
One would say, let's see, since many success. Okay, this is a good one. Kelly Duroy asks, she says, since many successful people have 5 people that they have been helped by, how has that helped you?
Well, I think, it talks about your net worth is the sum total of your network. And so, and the people around you. So if you're hanging around people that are successful, it's going to challenge you to be successful. And I had this for an earlier interview. If you're familiar with Cash Flow Quadrant, which was my second book in the Rich Dad side in the series, it talks about how we make money. On the left side, employee, self-employed. And on the right side, business owner, investor. School teaches you the left side. And this is you exchanging your time for money. So there's only so many days in the week, so many hours in the day. I teach people how to move to the right side. As a business owner or investor, this is where you're creating economic engines. On the left side, you are the only engine. On the right side, you have assets that work for you. So people that have income from the right side are going to get through this economic slump much quicker than people on the left. And so it's important to start focusing on your own personal finance and say, how can I create economic engines? Assets, my favorite word on earth, assets. Assets live on the right side. And that's how you become financially free. I still make money out of all 4 quadrants. I'm an employee of my own corporation. I get paid for speaking sometimes. I have my own businesses and I have investments. But my husband and I make far more money from the right side of the quadrant. And that's, you're financially free when the income from your assets exceed your monthly expenses. That's because you don't have to get out of bed. Your assets, those economic engines, are working for you. So it's not what you do for your paycheck. It's what you do with your paycheck that will determine your financial future. But
write that down. Not what you do for your paycheck, but with your paycheck. I like that.
Yeah, and focus on buying, creating, or building income producing assets.
Buying, creating, or building. I like it. Buying, creating, or building income producing assets is what you said, right?
Yep.
Awesome. All right.
And
now
taking what you know right up here and creating an asset will allow you to reach so many more people and make money doing it.
Oh, yes. You got to be an expert at what you do, guys. That's the thing. Everybody watching right now, you have a genius at something, at least one thing that you could be teaching other people, and they will pay you to teach them to do it, right? Most people don't realize this stuff that's just so easy for them. That's like back of the hand, easy stuff. They're like, I can't get paid. That's too easy. When yet there's somebody struggling and would want to figure out, so they've been spending thousands of dollars and years trying to figure out the solution, and you have it sitting in your head. And you could just be sharing it and giving it in a way that provides value, that builds assets, that creates value in other communities as well. Here's a funny little story from Holly Porter. So she was, I think, listening to Outwitting the Devil, powerful chapter 11, when it talks about the gates of hell, it put her in a hypnotic state and she went through a gated community gate. Oh, no kidding. $10,000 in damage to $15,000 to the gate. Oh man. But yeah, so it's a powerful book. Just don't try to do it while you're driving in rural communities. Last question for you, Sharon. This is from Precious. Ask, you are a mentor to many. How can you choose the right mentor?
Oh, absolutely. It's very important that you choose a mentor who well, let me start by saying there's a difference between a coach and a mentor. Both are very important. A coach is going to hold you accountable to a predetermined path. All right. I'm a terrible coach. I have coaches. I have people on my team. Angela, she's the one that's the coach. She's the one that keeps us on the right path. I'm a excellent mentor. I help people find that next level of success. And that is someone who has been where you want to go. They have the opportunity and the ability and the willingness to step into your world, not just sell you theirs. They're stepping into your business and helping you guide you around the pitfalls, speeding your way to success. They will open their Rolodex. If they have someone that can support you, they will introduce you. So you want to go through a process of asking those questions. And a mentor isn't going to accept you as a client if they don't think, well, a good mentor is not going to accept you as a client if they don't believe they can add value to and support you. Many times we have somebody come to talk to my husband and I about one of our mentoring programs, and they're not ready for us yet. And so, and we will give them some concepts of what they need to do to get ready. But I don't want to take somebody's money just to take the money. I want to support somebody getting their business put together and being able to not just have a successful business, but to have it sustainable, scalable, and saleable so that they can create generational wealth. But you have to build the foundation around the business. Way too many people are all focused on digital marketing and sales, and those are very important, but you also have to build the foundation of the business so that otherwise you may just own a job. If you don't build it so it's scalable, it's not really a business, it's a job. And so make sure you understand and that's not the sexy part, but believe me, it creates the sexy assets. I have an event coming up that's also free. Assets are sexy. But it's about creating those assets. If you focus on income producing assets, you'll get so much further in life, and you'll have the financial foundation, not just for yourself, but for future generations.
I love it. You have just been giving us nugget after nugget after nugget. I could have you here all day, but I want to make sure I'm respectful of your time, and I'd love every minute that you've been with us. Again, if you guys want to stay connected with Sharon, we're going to send everyone who texts in Sharon 2020 all the resources Sharon's given. I'm going to send the list to her team. So maybe she's got some more stuff to keep you guys in her Rolodex, invite you out to some of her events. She's got a lot of amazing things going on, and all of it's digital. I mean, she has gone digital. I love it. So she's doing live streams. I think almost every day I'm seeing her going live on her pages. So this is one woman who knows how to keep up with the times, and she has the results to back it up. So Sharon, thank you for coming out. Is there any last words you want to say for our audience?
Well, I would say you are all CEOs of your own lives. And we are all where we are today because of the choices we made before today. But if you want something different, just start making different choices because they're all available. And this networking opportunity that Manny's providing is a wonderful way for you don't just sit back and listen. Literally find that one or two things that someone says or something that I said today that you can apply in your own life and take action. All right. So many times I go back to the same event over and over, and people are there every year and they have not moved forward because they're not taking action. Right. Yes. And it's not going to just come through osmosis. Right. Yes, you want to think good thoughts, but you also actually have to put it to action. So take positive action so that you can start moving forward and create the success that you deserve.
I love it. Thank you for that, Sharon. I really appreciate you coming out. Again, guys, you want to stay connected, Sharon 2020. You'll get everything that we've outlined here today, and we'll continue on our networking, so stay tuned. But I appreciate you, Sharon. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. All righty. Wow. What an amazing interview. I hope you guys took some amazing notes from that end, because there's so much stuff to implement from there. Even from what I was writing down, I'm like, I'm what would you call advanced in this space. I've been consuming this type of education for close to a decade now, and there's still stuff in there. I'm like, what? That was pretty cool. All right. So here is what we are going to do next.